really great points. And now he has nothing. He's going to go for the bush trick flash, but there was a ward threatening these dives, threatening the aggression.
Yeah.
Weibo's trying to use that first kill lead. Maybe they'll look for a collapse here on his Junhao.
Saber's
caught with no flash. The shockwave does nothing. Chris was able to pick him off.
Now you have a dragon timer.
Grabs that kill, and like you called out, leads exponential.
Yeah, now you have a dragon timer. So I don't think that dive top was ever real. I think they were just trying to delay his base one wave, and then the walk came in. Saber didn't deal with it well. Being down flash, he gets found. It's way out, but gonna
Pop Blossom.
Chris.
They're gonna actually look to throw this right back at Weibo. Chris though has Magnetstorm crash down. He's able to get a double man stun, and Chris just wasn't the right target to go for here. But Ultra Prime, he can't get close enough. It's the unstoppable onslaught from Zhang that actually is able to claim that shutdown. A lot used there. The Weaver's ulti coming down for Xiao. Beautiful combination from Chris into the three-man flick back. The curtain calls down. It's all lining up Weibo, and Light's gonna cash in big. Picks himself up the double kill, lands the next snare onto Zhang. He's gonna flash after a trade, breathe back out. But Zhang's heroics have been a big point for Ultra Prime. They're not gonna be enough in the play-ins. A winning fight for Weibo.
Goes over to Weibo.
Shockwave combo onto Breathe, who's under turret, so he has no way to really fight back. Good pick there from Saber and Junhao to start things off. Another fight beginning with Weibo losing their member first, and Zhang wants to make it an even bigger issue. Ulting on top of TN, gonna force Weaver's wall from Xiaohu. Now Zhang is trapped on the wrong side of a big boundary.
Saber's the next play, also no flash, and Saber is dead.
Okay, so you trade out mid laner for support there, but I do think that kind of stalls out. Breathe is staying alive. He'll finally fall, but the route is on here for Weibo. Saber trapped in the curtain call, getting stunned up by Chris. The force shot doesn't land, but the flick back does from Xiaohu. Off the company as Chris goes for another great Magnetstorm flash. They're going to drop the Cataclysm onto Light, but again, how do the damage dealers get close enough? Good flash away from Light on the unstoppable onslaught for Zhang as he's trying to carry that brunt, but there's just nothing because another deadly flourish lands into another flick back. It feels like Xiaohu just hasn't missed any of these this game. He might have another opportunity if Baya doesn't flash over another well-placed pillar there from Tien. This dragon fight. Salsa that gets a double stun, trying to interrupt the dragon, the Baron take, but Tien still gets it, and my lord, there's just so much damage, it's hard to even calculate what's going on in that Drake pit.
I don't think Tien has a trip for Bourbon Street booked anytime soon. He's got some business to take care of still. As Weibo going to make sure that the...
Salsa, the next casualty of the brigade from Weibo, just gets crit shot by Light out of existence. One final 2-2 turret stand. Unfortunately, Matt, we're not going to get that because here comes the final march forward. Saber is cut off by a Weaver's Wall and a curtain call. It's again the range that really shines here for Weibo because the rest of the front line healing off a redemption. They've got Subjugate going. They don't even care about Fountain at this point. They just want to hit whoever is in front of them, demolish Ultra Prime, whoever stands in their way. And through one game, Weibo has looked decisive. Through one game, Weibo has looked like a team that could threaten in the LPL playoffs. Bands gets through. He's gonna as they go for the 3-on-1. Bree's gonna flash though and dash himself back to safety. But safety is only an idea, a construct in his mind as he will drop for first blood. But the bigger question, he'll knock up Saber, but you don't want to go after the Galio. He'll invite you in with the Taunton. Aaron Flash goes from Crisp. He gives the kill over to Junhao. They're going after Tien as well. Gonna go into the unstoppable form, make sure Junhao does not get that knock-up. But no real turn here for Weibo. Just a bit of an errand engage there from Grisp. Oh, Chains Corruption, cleanse. All right, good cleanse. Low range means that everyone can just get right on top of Junhao. Here's entrance, hits onto 2. So they're going to be able to trade Chris back out, but Tien on the wrong side of the fight. That is a way Aaron Tippers coming out from Xiaohu. Isn't going to stun anybody up, but luckily Tippers is just going to play the space game, keeping everyone else away from Tien, who does knock down Xiaosa. Baya and Saber looking for a way back in, but a great dash over the wall from Tien to make sure no knock-up lands. Xiaohu, though, is going to get taunted and shot down by Baya.
When you're playing Galio, I mean, it's all about the early to mid-game, what you can do. Because later on, you don't have the damage to keep up, and Zhang not going to be able to keep up here on the side lane. He's going down.
Chris is going to provide some cushion with the knock-ups, and he's actually going to catch the guy taking the turret, but the aggro drops alongside the general for Weibo. Good response there from Ultra Prime on the other side of the map. Saber, though, not going to land the Hero's Punch. He's going to get a 3-man taunt down, though, and there is exactly the fire starter that Ultra Prime needed, as Baya and Saber will clean up the fight. Going to get stunned up, but look at the Tempered Fey on the backside. Xiao to make sure nobody else can come through this passageway. And Chris will pay for the sins of his team's really intriguing dives. Not going to survive long enough because he, once again, loses his Alistar ultimate and eats a piercing arrow. Chris going to go down. And Ultra Prime can take the Opticon, and an uncomfortable conversation must be started here for Weibo.
They did see the ambassador.
Oh, but they didn't see Junhao engaging on top of Xiaohu. The knockup lands on the Galio, and There's no way for Annie to play this game out. There's no way for Breathe to ever get in with this Gwen, but my god, the bouncing blades from Light, along with Otacon, and the pack. Saber goes down to Otacon. MVP to Otacon for Weibo.
All right, well, Ultra Prime, I mean, they have good damage with the poke of their... have the XP advantage across the board, given the Otacon secure. They took this dragon, which means they've evened up the Drake score. They're only progress, baby. He did it all.
Is going to land the knock, but the Tempered Fate locks everybody golden. The taunts come across, and Zhang is able to come out on top. But here's Light showing up to the fight, pops the on the hunt, and look at this fight. And Saber is gone. The Tempered Fate's a little bit too late. Knock going to land for Chris as well onto Zhang. The two-pointed spear forward for Ultra Prime's early game win have now been taken down. As they look for an engage there onto Light, but he's able to flash, cleanse himself back out of safety, and now the front to back can look. It's actually going to be a flash from Saber to land a taunt, and they are going to be able to burn down Light. Stasis is galore come out, but Light survives. The damage cannot get close enough despite how low these health bars are. The GAs, like we talked about, coming up, so there's no one-shot threat from Ultra Prime. It's just another untargetable flash dash as Tien once again dances with death and wins. They learn to respect their opponents and respect the comp they've drafted, but when it was their time to shine, there was no one brighter in the late game stage than Weibo. If you can lead, there is the living death mark on top of Zhang. His dominance is gonna pop. They don't get enough damage out of the Zed. It's okay, though, because Weibo's first here to the other play. All of a sudden, it's 4v2 just like that. And duality of Chris right here. You'd think he gets picked off, but he's actually making it really hard for Ultra Prime to finally get that kill over to him. The problem is, he served up the Vi right up in front of Light this game, right? Yeah, let's lock back in. We see the Hex play completed. Maybe it's, again, Tien looking for good picks here, as Baya is, again, the product of another death. Cannot flash away when they've got flashes too.
Wow.
Tien is playing exactly into that assassin role right now, and he really has been all series long. Why is everyone chasing on this top side? Hold on, though. There's the engage into the Killer Instinct cross for Baya. Good heals come across now, who's able to stay safe. Tien, though, into the backline. Gets caught by those point-and-click stuns. Shane goes down first, but Light has transcended, and he's looking to just run down Ultra Prime. Baya surrounded.
Breathe. It doesn't matter.
He's got flash. This has just been rinse and repeat right now. Wrap around the 4-stack as Light just beams down, but the Killer Instinct comes across, and they're able to find a trade back. Baya, how much damage can he get down? They find the kill onto Light. Xiaohu in the middle of everybody, though, is starting to just bash on his keyboard. Combos layering over and over and over again as they just cannot shut down Breathe in this all-out form. Health bar's too high, and Xiaohu has had more than enough time to cook himself up a winning fight here. Weibo's solo lanes trying to desperately chase down to get another slow, and Xiaohu, the general, pops
so far. Opa teammate.
Nature's Grass, though, they weren't looking for it, and actually it's a bit of a disrespect from Xiaohu. That's 1,000 gold over to Baya. Tien gonna fall next here as he dashes towards Saber. This is starting to get a bit cautious here for Weibo. It's Light that has to try and rescue that transcendent form. Gets the kill onto Baya, and Breathe, again, is just way too burly to deal with. Running down with his big bad health bar. It's the wrong spy arm, but hello. Covert Agent, Sleeper on the back line. There we go, they get Light again. Good flash, though, over Saber's damage, and the Arc of Ruin decimates Ultra Prime. The flank of Dreams just falls flat for the moment. Hold on, they do get Light, but yeah, again, it's just the rest of Weibo are much stronger as a group.
In a way, Slayer, I know that we have a lot of chaos in the LPL, but this series went as we expected. It couldn't have gone more to expectation than what we expected.
Where's my team, bro? Nobody follows him. He just dies. And so does Saber. And so does the season for Ultra Prime as the Realm Warp comes right on top of Baya's head. And he will be the only one to survive. Nope, not even him to tell the tale. Weibo were just waiting to do it with a nice little bow on top. Their first ace of the game as they will 3-0 Ultra Prime. And as weird as it sounds to say, folks, our third series of the play-ins finally gives us our first Group Ascend team out of the play-ins into the playoffs. It will be Weibo Gaming in 3-0 fashion.